integration plan. We can go through the vision, we can go through that stuff for the main company, but I think it's important for us to start with the team after that. So the people and culture. I won't sugarcoat it. We need systems. So roughly we have about a team of 11, that's including the partners, but we are all over the place. We lack structure. We don't really have too many systems in place. There's not much accountability. Communication is everywhere across different channels. Too many cooks in the kitchen, as it said in the EOS book. And what I'm having to do is I'm trying to manage partner expectations along with the team's expectations, and then also the brands at the same time. As of right now, for me, I'm leading a lot of the departments, and it's taking me away from my main focuses. It's also at a point where if I step away from one thing, it stops moving. And so this people and culture part is going to be the biggest thing we need out of this entire system. All right, so as you just heard, there's a lot of things that I need to do. It's important for me to show you this side of building this company because I personally have always learned from other people's mistakes. So the company itself that we're building is a holding company, and we are basically building direct-to-consumer brands. So to give you a simple version of how it looks is we are an agency who does all the work for our own brands. Pretty much, I just want to document this entire process. We've already started. We've already been going for a while. I'll give you updates about the progress as time goes on, and I'll be able to show you behind the scenes. But I want to document this because when I look at a lot of the brands that I personally look up to, like Airbnb, Stripe, Shopify, you don't really see a lot of documentation of what it was like in the starting stages or the early, late stages. You see more of the founders and the C-suite talking about what they went through now, but I feel like if I could see like behind the curtain and behind the scenes of some of the issues they went through and how they solved them, it will ultimately change the trajectory of what we're building right now. That's one of the main purposes I want to do this. And I also want to be the first to tell you that I do not know everything. So this call in itself shows I do not know everything, nor do I want to claim to know everything. I really do enjoy learning, and I obsess over solving problems. And this problem in particular is a big problem that has been keeping me up like a lot. It's been giving me a lot of stress. But this is what I signed up for. This is what I enjoy doing. And if I had to make this decision to start this all over, I would do it again. So yeah, I just want to show you this process, take you behind the scenes so you can see how things are flowing, and then hopefully you get some value from it. All right, so I'm currently 26 years old right now, and I will just sum up the last decade for me. So I started out editing gaming videos, and then I transitioned. I bought a camera for the first time. I started getting self-portraits, and then what I realized was it was hard to do that, and I had a lot of friends asking for pictures. So I started taking pictures of friends, and over time, I started doing portrait photography. And then from there, I started doing other events. For the most part, videography was the majority of my, I guess you can call it, career so far. So I did a lot of things. I did music videos, I shot weddings, I did content for brands, content marketing for all types of people, the live streaming for Spotify, SoundCloud, and brands like those. And then basically I started to notice a shift. There was a huge transition of like wanting to do things for me and wanting to build something that was more sustainable, that didn't take much of me being there. So from there, that's when I started going more into the marketing side. So I started learning about ads. I started learning about content marketing and all those things like social media marketing. I started really diving into those things. So I started doing that for the people that I was working with, but then I found it easier to start working with more businesses and brands. Something because that seemed to be a little bit more sustainable. So then I kept getting into this cycle where I would just get bored. And whenever I would get bored, I would want to learn a new skill. And that's basically how the culmination of all those skills happened. I went through this constant cycle of getting bored and getting tired of what I was doing. And I was like, okay, I need to spice things up. But for me, my love has always been on the creative side of things. And at the end of 2022, I had a conversation with myself. And I basically said that 2023 needed to be a lot different. Like I needed to shake things up. And luckily, literally that same month of December, I onboarded a client who is now a brother to me and started working on his brands. And that's how this whole venture started. So we were already doing e-commerce for one of the brands we have in the US. And we came to Dubai on kind of a work trip. And basically what it turned into was moving operations here to this region, this side of the world. So while here in Dubai, what we realized was there was a huge opportunity for what we do and bringing those same skills into this marketplace. So e-commerce technically isn't new here, but there are some gaps that we've noticed from being in the US and selling basically globally to being here in the UAE, and just kind of how things are done where we can take advantage. So those are some of the things that I want to speak on and talk about, and maybe give opportunities and insights about over time. But for now, I'm going to leave it at that. I do hope you continue to watch because there's a lot I want to show you. So if you've made it this far, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.